You're listening to the Radcast, a top 25 worldwide business podcast. If it's radical, we cover it. Here's your host, Ryan Alford.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the latest edition of the Radcast. It's Friday, April 14th, 2023. Our weekly marketing, advertising, and business news of the week. Christina Yassi, what's up?
Here in the flesh, wearing a hat.
I saw you're on the ones and twos.
Also wearing a hat.
Yes.
One day you're not.
Hey, I know. I do wear a hat a lot, and didn't. I was on the podcast. I was a guest earlier, and I, wanted to look, respectable.
Right. Understood.
It's a tough task, but yes, I did. So Good Friday here. Not good. It's every day is a good Friday. Last Friday was Good Friday, but a good Friday nonetheless.
Yeah, the weather's been great. I feel like my seasonal depression's been cured.
Had a lot of rain and washed away the pollen, and everyone had a great Easter and celebrated. Whatever your beliefs are, it was a good weekend with family and friends.
Indeed.
Week's been good.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a big deal because McDonald's released a new McFlurry flavor.
Yes. So on Wednesday, if you're listening to this on Friday, depending on whenever it is, it might have already gone out if you're listening too far in advance. But assuming
it is limited time only,
topically in order, strawberry shortcake McFlurry, and hopefully the McFlurry machines don't start going down.
Oh man.
There is an app for that, I think.
It takes a lot.
It tells you where all the machines are.
Which ice cream machines work and which ones don't.
Yeah.
Which get on at McDonald's. Fix it.
I had, we talked about this on the news, like that supposedly there's one company that makes them, and they do a software thing that makes them go down, supposedly. There's like a conspiracy theory around the whole thing.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm like, I think Burger King put this out or something.
But I can see, Hotcake Fridays are now going to become McFlurry Fridays.
Don't you think I look... I am an equal opportunity food person. Like as long as it's available, I will eat it.
Same.
Pizza in the morning. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
No, same.
I mean, there's certain things that I don't know that I want steak and potatoes on every given morning.
I'm telling you, living alone
is
a humbling experience when it comes to when and what I'm willing to eat.
Oh yeah. It was in full effect for me. Nicole and the kids have been at the lake for a couple of days this week, and it's been total bachelor pad between the sinks and the dishes, or the dishes in the sink. Freudian slip. That would be true bachelor living. It's been interesting, just
creative. To say the least.
I don't know. You feel it's not that I wouldn't Nicole and I aren't watching or we eat what we want, but there's always snacks around and stuff like that. But I feel like I'm kind of. Dabbling
you don't
more
think
than
anyone's
normal.
watching you.
Yeah. You're going, or Nicole going, those are the kids' Pop-Tarts or what. I'm like,
right. You're like, not this weekend. This weekend they're mine.
Yeah. So it's been good. Bacheloring it up, and staying up too late watching the Lakers.
Did you see some fun ads while you were watching the Lakers?
I did. Charles Barkley, going back.
From the 90s.
Yes. And I knew when I had not seen the article list for this week's news episode, but I totally picked up that this was a AI deepfake, whatever you wanted to call it. But because he looked fake, it was just obviously Charles Barkley sitting there next to himself, who 30 years younger.
Well, one of them is fake.
Yeah, one of them was fake. Which one is it?
Right.
It's both entertaining and scary at the same time.
Yeah. It's still that uncanny valley thing for me, where it doesn't look quite like you want it to.
And look, this is all a talk. A couple of the gurus online, they're doing a lot of scare tactics, talking about where AI is going. And they were showing a news broadcast from Ukraine or somewhere where it was an AI person doing the news, a total created non-person.
Right.
And her lips weren't completely aligned with what she was saying, but it was eerily close. And they were just talking about that. He was making the notice that, newscasters make anywhere from on the low end, 40 grand to 100, 200 grand to millions if it's Fox News, NBC,
CNN, all that stuff.
And he was cost for any company, 70% is employees.
Yeah.
And so if they can create a person that broadcasts the news.
Like more inexpensive? Like I feel like at some point it's not going to be any cheaper.
I don't know, but
nor do I. But just
I think
my thought.
It isn't today, but 5 years from now,
Sure.
you could generate a person for like a one-time 10 grand cost or something.
Yeah.
Versus hiring an attractive male or female news host or it's blurring some lines was the point.
Totally.
And I agree. I just think how do we, I think that in real life engagement points for these people, like the community involvement and all that. I hope that we just aren't at that point. Where,
and I wonder if there will be like skill sets that will be lost because of this. Like, and this is going to sound dumb, but people don't learn handwriting the way they used to because we type everything now. Like, are you going to lose that customer service quality?
Yeah.
With how much we're moving forward in this AI talk to a robot world.
I just think, like in our field, the skills and it's changed though. Like, and I saw this company coming when I started Radical, like, okay, we don't need 7 creative directors. Mm-hmm. We need 7 videographers.
Yeah.
We don't need 6 of these. We need 2 graphic designers.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't because we didn't need ideas, but I could just see the world changing where outputs were more outputs and testing them.
Yeah.
Versus spending 4 months on
quantity
one idea.
Over quality for sure.
And unless that it wouldn't be quality, but like at a certain level, quality was good enough to test it, let the market tell you.
Totally.
Like you couldn't do that when you were doing a TV ad that you were spending $1 million to produce.
And it had to be perfect.
And $5 million on the media. You had to get it to what you thought was the
perfect
furthest along as possible.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not that was always successful, we could debate. The Super Bowl ads prove that out. But
True.
Now, it's iteration a little bit more. I still think the big idea needs to be there, but it just, you got to get to it quicker.
Yeah.
And then I think our jobs as like marketers and what we do, people and businesses are going to still need these new tools done for them on some level. It's not going to just push one
take
button,
over
everything's
everything.
done. I just think the jobs will change and transform to different things. And as long as you embrace the new thing and learning it, I think you'll always have a place. But it's interesting. Like, it's just that fine line of the reality versus not. I read a really interesting article on the AI stuff. It's just like, when we get to a world, if we don't think the news is real and we don't know what to trust, it becomes anarchy, because then what do you believe?
Right,
and in that world, when that coin totally flips, and in some points we're there now a little bit with the whole right and left spin between CNN and Fox News and all that shit.
Yeah.
But like, it gets to a scary place if you don't trust
reality.
Reality. That's kind of what it is. Like, what's reality and what's not.
Right. Go touch some grass.
Like, because you use the example of like a world leader, or no, it was a company CEO. A deepfake went out there that said the CEO had lost faith, like he'd made some bad investments or whatever. And so the market got wind of that and immediately tanked the stock and everything else around news that wasn't real. Oof. It wasn't like something like, okay, like warring companies. It went down the company path of like showing like a guy having to, I've kind of been selling a little bit of stock because, I've made some bad bets and the company's kind of in a bad place. Showed him having like a private conversation, like a deep fake. They're playing that out, which wasn't a real thing.
Right.
And what that would lead to. And then once those dominoes started falling, the company could be bankrupt.
Right. That's when it becomes
reality. Wasn't real.
Yeah.
Like there was no reality in it. But if everyone, like if you own 1 million shares of McDonald's stock and you heard something like that, and then everyone started selling it, you could bankrupt the company.
Right.
And when it wasn't based in true financial factor data.
Yeah.
And so
I don't like that.
yeah, I know it's like
that's icky.
But and I think it just shows that we've got to get the safeguards right around this stuff, and that it's going to be no different than the criminals are always going to, one step ahead. But everyone thought, our credit cards and everything else were going to get stolen and data and all. And yes, there's still issues, online. But the security stuff has gotten better.
Yeah.
To alleviate that we're not having your account stolen every day.
Right.
And I think the tools with which to manage this stuff are going to have to keep up accordingly. So,
and that's a good segue into the next article we have here, which is about Dove, the soap company, and their push for legislation to protect young people and protect their self-esteem specifically from social media, which I know is a conversation you and I have had about how do you raise kids in such a social media forward world where you need to be cognizant of it, but not necessarily afraid of it, but still wise with how it's introduced.
Yeah, I just think, I don't know. It's almost like when I grew up, whether it was right or wrong or different, you couldn't even go see an R-rated movie, unless you're a certain age. You had PG, PG-13, you had these rating things that exist. And we still use them with our kids. Like our kids aren't, I have a 13-year-old, the oldest. He's getting closer to this, and our two oldest are very mature for their age, so we, parent accordingly. Yeah. But we're not throwing them in front of R-rated movies every day. Right. Right. And so they shouldn't be running in front of R-rated social media content. Yeah. And R-rated may not be just curse words and nudity. Right. It might be, is this appropriate level? Right. Is this content too heavy? Is this even necessary? Yeah. Protecting innocence to a point. And there's a good use of AI. Can AI and this stuff filter through content and determine age appropriateness? Yeah. There's a positive use of technology. We had you might know what this is, Sawyer. ClearPlay. Did you have ClearPlay? It was a DVD player that was very popular in Christian households. And you could go through and put the settings on to edit out sex scenes or violence. And one of my brother's favorite things to do was to put in Braveheart and set the violence, to max. And the movie was 20 minutes long because it just cut everything. How did it? That's really interesting. It was a really bad cut. I mean, literally, it would be they would kiss, and all of a sudden, it would just next scene was a war scene, but there was no sex. You just saw them kiss, and then. There's got to be a better way to deal with that. I need the AI to fix it. From Clearview to Cinderella. From Clearview, that's good. From ClearPlay to Cinderella. Wow, the Christina Yasi story. My parents are supportive, but are they proud? Question mark. Yeah. It's fine. But I do like Dove getting behind this. Yeah. It feels right with their brand. Totally. Hey, it's clean, clean the content, clean your skin. It's good. That's good. They missed an opportunity there. Put the soap in your mouth and clean your mouth out too. Hey, we got it all covered here. No language. That never happened to me. Got some rad news. Yes. We had Michael Hobby this week. I hope everyone checked that out. If you haven't, you need to go. We're about to start releasing some highlight clips from that. Really good guy. His wife, Caroline, we're going to be working together with her. We're just getting in the hobby clan here. Yes. I'm quite a fangirl. Yeah, they have the cutest 3-year-old daughter in the world. And Michael's awesome. Lead singer of 1,000 Horses. All that Smoke from a couple years ago. You remember it? A song called Smoke. You heard it, you'd start nodding. And new album coming out. I was one of the first people to listen to it, hot off the presses. And let me tell you, let me just say this. Okay. So my kids begrudgingly listen to country music because of me, and I think they're secretly starting to like it now. And my 11-year-old there's a couple songs on the new album. He's like, Dad, that's going to be a hit, right? He's like, I think that sounds like a hit to me. And I'm like, you're right, son. It's going to be a hit. And I'll tell you what's a hit, and that's Michael. Really good guy, really down to earth, talks about the ups, the downs, the realities of building a career in the music industry. Really enjoyed that. Talked about just a lot of things that you don't hear about. You hear about all the good stuff, but just the path that they've been on. And I don't know, really enjoyed getting to know Michael. I was texting with him for an hour, I'm going to Nashville, just got to hang out in the country music scene. Total buds. Yes. Love to see it. But Michael's a good guy, and it's a really good story, and they put out some great music. So I hope everybody will go check out that episode. Then next week, David Segura, check it out. Really enjoyed this episode, and I hope everyone will check out the rest of the month. We've got like some really good episodes that we've recorded lately on a guy and AI, like top of his game. Like we're kind of crossing the gamut of a lot of the hot topics. And so I'm really pumped about the rest of the month on the Radcast.
Big deal.
Yep.
Got some good stuff coming. Speaking of good stuff, our lovely sponsor, Good Ranchers, is the best meat delivery service in the United States. And we can talk about it ad nauseum, but we won't. We'll just give you 3 reasons you should subscribe to Good Ranchers. Number 1, you get $240 worth of free bacon in the first year. That is 1.5 pounds of bacon in every single box.
You baking me crazy.
Listen, I like it. I don't even need 3 reasons. I just need that 1 reason. But I've got 2 more. The second reason, you lock in your price and avoid meat inflation. This is a really, really big deal, especially right now. We're all very cognizant of our spending. Food is expensive. And with Good Ranchers, you don't have to worry about losing your shirt to your steak. And number 3, you can enjoy the highest quality meat in America. Bonus number 4, we have a discount code. You can use the code RADCAST and get a bonus $30 off of your first order. You cannot go wrong with Good Ranchers.
Yes, love it. Straight to your door. One less thing to worry about at the grocery store. The quality, the cost, the where it came from, the unknowns of meat. It's taken care of. It's one less thing to worry about on your grocery list. Right to your door, and Christina and I have both had it.
Oh my
have
gosh.
it in the freezer.
Yes, still
ate
going
some
strong.
last night, and best steak I've ever had delivered by far, and right up there with some of the best steakhouses in America. Get it right to your door. They're good friends, Good Ranchers, and goodranchers.com.
On to some social media news. TikTok, unsurprisingly, remains the top social app for teens despite the drop in favorability, which has recently happened. Behind TikTok is Snapchat, so I'm eating crow a little bit. Last week I was like, who even uses Snapchat? The youth do, apparently. And Instagram is the 3rd most popular. TikTok has been the top ranking social media app since spring of 2022 when it unseated Snapchat.
Yeah. I mean, not surprising here.
It feels a little bit like prohibition. Like now that it's
Yes,
kind of off limits, people
might
are
be.
even more apt to use it. Yeah. So again, makes sense.
The band,
I am now
the
on
band is still
TikTok.
kind of like holding over its head.
Yeah.
And I mean, it might be helping in the short term, but like, if you're going to ban it or you're going to make them sell it, whatever you're going to do, let's just get it done.
Make a decision.
Like, I think it's kind of like
Totally.
Here's what you think your congressmen are working for you. Like, okay, the Chinese government's getting after your data, which, hey, that's above my pay grade. If it's happening, we need to control it. We need to get rid of it. But here's what they don't realize they're doing with this cloud over it and indecision. A lot of businesses rely on this platform for growing their brand, growing their business and their sales. And if they don't know whether you're going to remove this platform tomorrow or the next day, you're hurting small business and you're hurting companies more than what you perceive them to be getting hurt right now. So we need to make a decision on this and move, because indecision and the cloud is causing strife to small businesses that market and promote on there.
Totally.
And so, because you don't know whether to move off the platform or not.
Right.
And so they think they're doing good, but they're causing
And it goes back to
havoc.
what's actually true and what's actually happening.
Exactly. So,
But
but it's still popular.
yeah, all big time.
And I went down the rabbit hole. A few, single week it offered for me, and went down the rabbit hole.
Pop-Tarts and TikTok.
I had no putting kids in bed. An extra 30 minutes. So I had
addictive.
golf tips and I don't know.
Any
some other
food tips?
Yeah, and conspiracy theory. Like, I don't know. Like, I got down some rabbit holes.
Mine's a lot of Taylor Swift and her breakup right now. Those are the bulk of the conspiracy
I
theories.
did see a couple of those. Those hit. Those hit.
Please respect my morning in this time. But yeah. And then Elon Musk, again, I feel like we should just change the section to the TikTok and Elon Musk news. Elon Musk says that Twitter will finally remove the legacy check marks on 4/20, April 20th. Initially, the removal was slated for April 1st, but the deadline passed without any changes. In an interview with BBC, Elon claimed media is a driver of misinformation. Shocker. He also tweeted about giving a few weeks grace period to existing blue checkmark accounts.
So the only way to get it is to buy it now.
Yeah.
I didn't quite realize that he was completely doing away.
I didn't either until I read this.
I thought he'd now I know at least Instagram told us pre-verified people we would be keeping it. We'll see what happens there. But like, yeah, interesting. I don't fault him. Like it's his platform. If he wants to charge,
he's
it's
urging
his prerogative.
Businesses and media brands to pay $1,000 a month for organizational verification. And the New York Times, as of now, has refused to do so.
The guy's got some balls. I mean, like him, love him or hate him, but it's his platform. A lot of people have made a lot of money and grown a lot of awareness. It's a free platform. It's been free for a long time.
Right.
So if he wants to charge as a way to for you to get a better experience or more awareness.
Sure.
Like I said before, it's just the ads, in a way. It's his prerogative, and you can do it or not do it.
Does it not just seem like he's bored though? Like it just feels like every week the eclectic billionaire just kind of comes up with new ideas.
Well, this to me, I do think that as well sometimes, but in this case, he spent $40 billion, whatever it was on this, and he needs to make them. I mean, he needs to make it profitable again. So as a business person, this is more. I understand. Whether or not it'll work or not, I don't know yet. But
totally,
I understand it economically driven to make an investment worth money.
Yeah,
but in other cases, it does seem like sometimes he's just doing shit.
Just whenever too much money.
Because I can't. I feel like he's playing a higher level game sometimes, and then sometimes it feels that way.
Right.
And I think that's part of the intrigue, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's part of his brand, if you will.
I mean, he's obviously a genius.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not kid ourselves.
Right.
And I respect the hell out of his intelligence. But sometimes I feel like, okay, he's just outmaneuvering everyone. Then I'm like, oh.
Right. It's like, are you too smart for common sense? Like, what's happening?
Yeah. And it's like, then you get into the conspiracy theories. Like, does he know? This doesn't really make sense on the surface. So he must know something we don't.
Right.
Or is it just an eccentric billionaire that has more time than he knows?
We may never know.
He doesn't have more time, but more money maybe.
Right.
That he knows what to do with. So.
That's all we got for social media for now. We'll keep up to date with who's going to refuse that blue check mark. But on to marketing news. Hanes breaks the stuffy Victorian Era conventions with help from Blondie. This is a great commercial. If you haven't watched it, I highly encourage that you do. Hanes is offering a twist on the Victorian Era with a new campaign set in its founding year of 1901. I had no idea that Hanes was that old. And in this spot, it takes place in Victorian Era, probably England, who knows? And everyone's in their layers and layers of Victorian era clothing. And then they take it all off and they're wearing their cotton underwear and dancing around to Blondie. It's very, very fun. It's going live around, playoff time. So currently, and it's a fun makes you think of Hanes differently than I get Hanes and Fruit of the Loom confused all the time. And I feel like now I won't.
There were some good old classic Fruit of the Loom.
Oh, so good
commercials. Like Hanes is always the one that I think was like the first time I felt a little odd seeing grown men in tidy whities, like
totally.
Going
totally.
Not it was just like okay,
right. It's like there's nothing funny or sexy about this.
Yeah, because exactly. Like it's just tidy whities,
Yeah, it's just cheap Walmart underwear. But this spot is, I think, very, very smart, and not that it's a rebrand, but it definitely made me think. I don't think I've ever thought of Hanes outside of when I see them in Walmart.
Did it feel like it was I haven't seen it yet. I know you. It's on my list of like watchables here, but is the NBA market where they're talking about its platform? Did it feel like it was going to impact that market? Like that was the only disconnect for me. I was kind of reading through it. And I hadn't seen the spot yet. I was just like, it's a little disconnect with that audience to me. But
I think what I love weird, and I think that it is just weird enough to make you watch it.
Okay.
And like think about it when you're at the store, like whether or not that will actually push conversion. I do think it, and again, like, music plays a huge role in these spots, and Heart of Glass is such a great song and very recognizable. So I think that they have enough positive, weird things going for it that it will at least, jar your memory when you see Hanes at the store.
Yeah. Well, that's what you have to do to break through these days.
Yeah. Entertainment first.
Entertainment
Sales
first.
second. Yeah. On to some TV news. Google TV is expanding its free streaming lineup to over 800 live TV channels, including Tubi, Plex, Haystack, and more. You're a Google TV guy.
I am. I got on this bandwagon 2 or 3.
In the beginning.
In the beginning. Like, it's kind of like I threw out all my hard media.
Yeah.
Sounded interesting. The CDs, DVDs, the moment you could have like digital media with music and movies, I had the DVD, like
got rid of them.
Sold them at garage sales, whatever you do, like all the hard discs were gone. And same thing with like streaming, like the moment I could get rid of cable, like
sure,
and go with a streaming platform that you could use ubiquitously no matter what device you're on or where you're at, I was on this bandwagon. And
nice.
I think they've done a good job. There's the DVR system's really cool, like, and having all that accessible no matter what device, laptop, TV, on our boat, TVs, like wherever, like having all that content in the cloud and available. I've wanted the UI to get a little bit better, but it's good enough once you figure it out. It's a little clunky when you first start using it.
Sure.
But I will say this, it's reliable. Like, you use these types of things and you're like, all right, how many times is this going to go down or something like that? If you've got internet, it's worked. So I'll give Google credit with the quality of the technology.
Streaming service.
Yeah. And so adding more, free channels, great. That's important with, getting adoption and things like that.
They're going to have premium content like Westworld that'll be available through licensing deals with Warner Brothers. So you don't have to have, HBO to stream it.
Yes. And what's confusing though is there's a difference between like YouTube TV and Google TV. Like Google TV is like the app interface, and then YouTube TV is like the purely paid cable live component.
Totally.
I kind of want to see where these worlds come together.
The integration.
The integration. And because that seems it's like Google, YouTube, Google. Like obviously YouTube as an app and as a video search engine of content is different than Google as the company, which has a lot of things under its umbrella beyond search engine.
Sure.
Devices, other things. But I still think there's like this disconnect, like Google TV versus YouTube TV.
Who's going to buy the first? Who's going to buy them?
Like how do these integrate?
Yeah.
Like what's the OS here? Like what ultimately they've got to figure that out, because related to that.
Yes.
YouTube TV, which I have on my Google TV. This gets really convoluted.
In the weeds, like a nesting doll.
Sunday Ticket.
Yeah.
And was pumped to see this, which is why it's Social House here. I went with YouTube TV, which I have at home, which we just discussed, because I knew this was coming. I saw this deal get signed, and that's a big deal watching a lot of the games at once. I mean, NFL is the most popular sport in the world, and definitely in the U.S. I say the world. It is growing in the world. I think it's
or that in soccer. I would imagine
like 1-2, depending on it is. It's growing in Europe a lot too. So it's a big deal. It's expensive.
It is expensive.
I mean, obviously for a business that we have like reasons for that, and like as a cost center, it's not that high. But for a family, $200, $300, $400. I mean,
well, and I think that there's also a piece of, not to age you or anything, but I am only ever used to spending maybe $20 for my TV, because like I only use streaming platforms. So the thought of spending 3 digits on my television, which my parents have done their whole lives, there's like absolutely not. No, I won't. I won't do it.
You can come watch it at Social House.
I'll go to exactly. I'd rather pay $99 a month than get it at Social House.
Yes. See, it really has the value to our package.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
So it'd be interesting. $249 if you sign up early.
Yeah.
I'll be getting that early bird special.
It increases after June 6th.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks.
Exactly. So if you didn't know, DirecTV switching YouTube, it's a big deal for legitimizing, YouTube TV is a legitimate cable TV
competitor,
live
for sure.
TV player, because DirecTV is satellite, but you still have all the equipment and stuff like that. This is purely app streaming driven.
Yeah.
So you can get it anywhere.
For sure.
that has the app.
That's a good point.
Don't need, and I know DirecTV's introduced some of these streaming packages, but only in the last year or two.
Right.
You always had to have the clunky damn satellite attached to your
house. We had a giant satellite in the in my backyard growing up.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like one of those, like
one
10
of the
feet
massive
wide.
ones. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
nice.
There, I think there were pictures of
And
me
you were
like
at Bob
sitting on
Jones.
it.
Like I thought they just used those for like getting porn back in the day or something.
This was before Bob Jones. This is when I was like, before my brother was born. So I was 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. My
I
aunt
lived
and
at
uncle
home.
had one of those. I thought it was like the coolest thing.
Oh,
they
it was
had like,
awesome.
They had like 10 acres and like had the big satellite.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That was a memory like that was
Want
dead
some
in the recesses of my mind till this moment.
Skinamax.
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. Yep.
Well, I think that's all we got for today.
Yeah. Last thing we want to mention. Vaycay.
I'll be taking one this weekend.
Yeah. Taking a vacay. Yeah, literally or figuratively. Like
I will be
taking-
I will be consuming a vacay.
Yes.
Or
Proud to
inhaling
partner
a Vaycay.
with Vaycay. Official wellness partner of the Radcast.
Yes.
We've got, look, third-party lab tested, all the ingredients you know what you're getting. This is about health and wellness. This is not about gas station cheap tricks.
Right.
That's what I'd call it. Which every time I go in there now, having partnered with Vaycay and some future things we'll be announcing, like I'm now like ultra like paying attention to what's at the counters and all that. And it's like, one, some things are just totally deceptive, like trying to be clinical. And then there's just the whole other line of like, okay,
I don't just
what is
want a
really in
vitamin.
this bottle
Yeah.
and how much is in this thing?
What am I actually putting in my body?
What am I putting in? I have no idea. And so I think that's why we're proud to partner with Vaycay. We know exactly where the products come from, third-party tested, and low dosages that only get what you want out of it, and not what you don't.
They've got something for everybody. They really do.
And the sleep gummies are great. My stepfather is still like, bothering me going, send me more. Like, we just order them. And I think it's like, once it's like I gave him a taste, it's like, all right, he's got to, like, I'm going to send him samples forever. Like, dude, like,
They're not addictive. They're just that good.
no, he just literally can't sleep. Like you're giving him like an extra hour of sleep, which it does for me when I'm feeling like I'm not going to sleep well. I'll pop like half one.
Oh, I've been on, like I have, insomnia. Like my doctor has not diagnosed me with insomnia. And I've been on all kinds of sleep meds that make me feel like shit in the morning. And this is the only thing I've taken that I don't get like night terrors or wake up groggy. I cannot speak highly enough about these products.
So disposables and a new roll-on CBD pain cream that's coming out, or roll-on, excuse me, that it's kind of like icy hot, but with CBD and natural ingredients.
Helps with inflammation.
So that's coming
all that
out
stuff.
in the next couple of weeks. So proud partner of Vaycay, the official wellness partner of the Radcast. Give them a shout out at takeavacay.com.
Yeah. And on Instagram at vacay.lifestyle and vacay.global.
There you have it.
Give us a follow.
Yep. I think that's all we have for today.
All we got. It's gonna be a beautiful weekend.
Yes. Hope wherever you are, however you are, whenever you are, you have a great rest of your day.
And if you're in the Greenville area, we have our very first social house market on Saturday, April 15th. So tomorrow.
Yes. So
10 to
you better,
2.
if you're listening, if you're one of our loyal Friday listeners and you're in the Greenville or
you can't wait for this
South
episode
Carolina
to drop.
got come support. It is going to be fun.
We got 40 different vendors. It's going to be
crazy.
amazing. I cannot wait.
So come check it out at Social House. You can just look us up at Social House GVL on Instagram. We appreciate everyone. We couldn't do it without you. You can find us at theradcast.com. Find all the highlight clips and all of the episodes. Ryan Alford for Christina Yassi. Sawyer on the ones and twos. We'll see you next time on the Radcast.
To listen or watch full episodes, visit us on the web at theradcast.com or follow us on social media at our Instagram account, the.rad.cast, or at Ryan Alford. Stay radical.